So I've been working remotely for the last 3 years and have felt a lot of things. There have been a lot of ups and downs. 2 years back, I quit my full-time job, and personally and professionally, I've grown a lot. And one thing that's been an absolute game changer for me has been my workout. And oddly enough, it's got nothing to do with putting me into shape. So in this video, I'll talk about how that is so and why it can do the same for you as well. So in February of 2020, I had a full-time job in New Delhi, India, and I also did a part-time job in a company in California remotely. And my days were pretty productive. I woke up sometime around 4, got some work done by 8, and then commuted to work, came back around 7, and worked some more. Even at the peak of the pandemic, our offices were open and we were expected to come to office and work. We had work from home for a very brief period of time, sometime in October and November, and that was when I realized working from home was so much better and it gave me so much time for myself. When offices reopened sometime end of November, I knew that I wanted to quit my full-time job and maybe work remotely or freelance at the side. So I worked towards that from November to February, March of 2021 and decided to call it quits sometime in February. And it was a tough decision. And for the initial few months, I was totally in survival mode. I knew I had to make this work. I really did not want to go back to my job, and so I did everything I could to move the needle forward. I was the first one in my family to try entrepreneurship, and I really did not know anything about it. At the end of my first month of working full-time for myself, I evaluated where I was and how my finances looked like. And much to my surprise, it was not what I had expected it to be. I've talked about the law of reversed effect quite a number of times in my channel, but it basically says that the more you try to chase something, the farther it goes away from you. Or to put it another way, you getting over-involved with things does not really change the timeline in which you can see the results or the outcome of the thing. And like I mentioned, I was the first entrepreneur in my family, and I really did not know that you have to look at things in the long run, and that business takes a lot of upfront investment before you can really start seeing the results. So the first month passed by, and then the second month passed by. At the end of the third month, I had really started to question myself if this was the right decision and where I was going with this. And just one of these days when I was laying on my bed, really not knowing what is next or where I should go from here, my sister prodded me to come with her to the gym. And at first I was reluctant, but then I gave in. I had worked out before, so I knew how to use the equipments and everything. But the first day was really embarrassing. I could hardly do 8 reps of a 3 kg dumbbell. And at the end of the workout, I was really just sitting there, completely exhausted, looking all red. At the end of the workout, I felt like I had accomplished something. I was really not thinking about work, and there was this fleeting moment where I felt grateful for my body and everything that it puts up with. It was strange. I'd never really thought about this. The second day, I came to the gym again, thinking that I would feel the same, but obviously, it did not happen. Nevertheless, the 30 or 40 minutes that I worked out at the gym felt good because I could distance myself from work and the survival mode that I was in at that moment. When I'm at home and not working, I usually would direct my maid on what to do, what not to do, what to cook and what not to cook, or I would be doing something or the other. I really found it difficult to sit at one place because the pressure I felt to make this thing work, and generally with everything that was going around in the world at that time. Working out felt like me time, a place where I could just listen to calm music and not really think about anything, a time where I could just let go and let myself be in the moment without having to worry about going somewhere or doing something. Then there were days when I didn't feel like hitting the gym. But I realized that thinking about whether to go or not also required a lot of mental space. So I started hitting the gym even on days when I did not feel like working out, just to save that mental space. I would hit the gym even if it was for 10 or 20 minutes. And this really taught me the importance of having systems and structures in place. Having a routine for things so that when life gets in the way, you have some systems and structures to fall back on. At once, I was also tempted to have goals in mind, but I actively tried avoiding it. I wanted to work out without any goal in mind because I did not want this thing to be like work. This was me time. I wanted the workout to be rewarding in itself. I wasn't doing it to lose weight, look more buff, or have abs, though I have that now. Working out was just an expression of myself. And the work was rewarding in itself. It brought me back to the center. I learned to let go and just do my bit and not worry so much about the results. Since I knew that working out is the only time I got to have to myself other than work or stuff at home, I would smile at people, ask them about their day. I tried making friends and even work out with some of them together. As my energy and sleep started to improve, I also started eating healthier. And at the end of the day, I would look forward to my gym time every day. And I started feeling a sense of progress in life, something which also translated to work. I felt happier in a way that I really could not express. Since then, I've been working out every day, and it means so much more to me than any form of physical movement. Saying that something is changing your life is a bold statement. But if you're someone like me who spends most of the time at home, where work and personal life are pretty much intertwined, then working out can really help. Along with better energy levels, better sleep, and physical shape, you get time to spend with yourself, distance from work for a while, and maybe even reflect on where you're going, what you're doing with your time, and if your work is getting you closer to leading a more meaningful life. And you don't need fancy clothes, shoes, or even a space maybe. You can start where you are. All you need maybe is a little push and an inspiring video. And since you're here, you have access to that. Now, what is your excuse?